Hey everyone, it's another week, so we've got another face-to-face. I'm Keeling Fukushima from HGTV, and today we're joined by head coach of sailing, Andy Johnson. Hey coach, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, for sure. This is kind of fun.
You are currently the longest tenured coach at UH Athletics, with over 30 years of leading the sailing program. Before that, you were a student athlete, a sailor yourself. What's it like to be affiliated with UH for so long?
Well, I benefited from being on the team a lot, and when there was a chance to keep it going and take over for Charlie Dole, who was my coach, I jumped at that chance. It wasn't about the pay for sure, and that's kind of what we've been doing, giving back ever since. Jesse Andrews joined me after he graduated in 1997, I think it was, and he's been giving back too. So it's basically, all about keeping the program going, giving back, and trying to, create opportunities like we have or like we had, and make good student athletes and good people.
Yeah, I love that. That culture behind your program. You kind of talked about your assistant coach. In 2012, you were inducted into the College Hall of Fame for sailing, and last year, Jesse Andrews was also inducted. What's it like, and how incredible is it to have two Hall of Fame coaches on staff?
It's awesome, really, because Jesse's so good with the tactical side of things, and he really can help with the team racing aspect. And there's if I'm not there and he's there, and he's not there or I'm there, there's not any kind of drop off with what the kind of coaching that the students are getting, and it really makes it nice. And that's the whole thing is we just been giving back, and that's what it's all about. And we're trying to you try to instill that in the athletes that we have now, like, okay, when it's your turn, you need to give back too.
Mm-hmm. And in sailing, you have a women's and a co-eds team. What's the culture behind your program, and what kind of student athletes do you look for?
Well, you look for, good sailors for sure.
Right.
And then beyond that, you want to have good people and people that are going to be respectful and get along in practice. So it's kind of interesting when you are on the road with the co-ed team, which has a mixture of women and men, and then when you're on the road with just the women's team, as far as like the motivation and how to get them fired up and all that kind of stuff is slightly different, which is interesting.
Yeah, and you have a great record. You have a couple national championships on both teams, and you've qualified 14 out of 20 seasons with the co-ed and 16 out of 20 with the women's. With this great and growing record, and what does the future of the sailing program hold?
Well, the landscape of college sailing is changing and evolving, and it's I guess like all the other UH sports, it's just making it a little harder to recruit some of the top sailors, because the emphasis of things is really getting put on the East Coast and a lot of the big regattas out there, which is hard for us to go and participate in the regular season. It's interesting when you look at when we have gone to the nationals, and it's interesting to look at our record. And before 12 noon, we're pretty bad, and then after 12 noon, the UH scores always improve, and that's basically because of the 6-hour time difference.
Right. Well, you have an amazing program, an amazing team. Thank you for all you're doing with sailing and continuing to give back and creating the culture that you have. We can't wait to see what this upcoming season holds for you all. So thank you again for catching up with us. I'm Keeling Fukushima. That was Andy Johnson, and this has been Face to Face. Stay safe, everyone, and go Bows.
All right. Thanks a lot.